Árnason. Valbert skorar! Valbert Gunnarsson hefur skorað. Ragnar Markinsson og skoðamark! Glæsilega gert! Óskar Rafn á móti Bjarna. Og Bjarni með góða sendingu fyrir og það aftur Ingolfsson!
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Best About Ever. Just me, or is it? Jamie and Ragnar are traveling, so we've called in a big favor, gotten the best of the best of the best pod. Joe is back with us.
Hello. That was quite the introduction. I don't know if I warrant that, but thank you.
I mean, you're the founder of the Best of Pod. You were the one that messaged me on Twitter, I guess, back in the day.
Yep, this is true.
So you're the OG.
The OG, that's right. That's right. I've disappeared into the background a little bit, but still keeping track of things, so...
Yeah, I mean, if anyone should, everyone should. I think we mentioned it before, but everyone should watch FO's Instagram. The graphics and everything. Joe has a bit of a hand in that, I think, and it's by far. I know we don't like to praise FO on this pod, but it is by far the best in the league, I think, graphics wise.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I know Breidablik has come on strong in the last little bit. I think they brought in somebody new, and that person's doing a very good job as well, so kudos to them. But yeah, we're really trying to put out a top class product, so it's fun. I really enjoy doing it, and it keeps me involved with what's going on in the league as well, so that makes it all the more fun.
I think it's good to get a little bit of outside influence into this league sometimes, to shake things up a little bit and to elevate the levels. So that's from Iceland, we say thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I think, we're getting sidetracked slightly, but I just want to say I think it would be beneficial for the league if they did even more. They really should have like a goal show every week where they it's just a little YouTube video, right? It's like, I don't know, 8 minutes long or whatever. It just has all the different goals. It goes through all the different ones that were scored in the various weeks. Like, I think that would be so beneficial for the league. It would give it added exposure, and people could, get a feel for what it's like in Iceland and see some really cool goals. Like, I don't know why they don't do that.
Yeah, no, because they have like a show on one of the channels, but it's geo-locked. Like, I can only see small clips that come out of it, and it's obviously all in Icelandic, and yeah, they don't show the goals and the highlights on YouTube. We've talked about it before. Sometimes they're like, it was the wrong logo once. It was the Throtter logo, I think, for Kawa one week, and there was work to be done.
Yeah. Wow.
But the work has not yet to be done on round 18, because that's done. So we'll just go quickly over the results before we dive into the main topic of today. 1.5 shocks. Víkingur 2-2 against IPVF. That was the big shock. Although I was chatting to the IPVF sort of Instagram moderator, and they felt that they could definitely put something like this on the board. So I was happy to see them proved right. The other sort of mild shock, I guess, is Valur beating Breiðablik. Although we talked about Breiðablik last week, they're not having. On a grand scale of things, they're obviously fine, but on a Breiðablik sort of what we expected from Breiðablik, not the best season from them. Otherwise, Stjarnan beating Keflavik 1-0, FO beating Kawa, because Kawa doesn't beat anyone, 1-0. Beating Thor with 2-0, and Kawa beating from 5-2, obviously. And by doing that, Kauer beat a 33-year-old record by scoring 62 goals, I think, in 18 games. Or they beat the record by where ES scored 62 goals in 18 games back in 1993. But yeah, they are the goaliest team in 18 games, whatever that means.
Yeah, they've got 64. I'm looking at it right now. That's pretty impressive. So yeah, it must have been the last stat that you said, and yeah, they're really like, I've never known them to score so many goals.
No, it's going pretty well, and if you look at the sort of top goal scorer chart, it's player number 1 and 3 are Kauer players, Aron Sig and Luke Ray. So we could now we just need Luke Ray to score a few, and then we can get 1, 2, and 3 by the end of the season. But no, it's going pretty well, and then 6 points now behind being good. Do you think they have any chance of catching them?
I mean, you guys talked about it last week, right, with their Vikingers European slump, kind of, right? And it really continued on this week as well. That's a surprising result against EBVF on the face of it, but as we know, sometimes, a lot of times, Icelandic teams tend to struggle when they're playing on multiple fronts. Well, any team, I think, can struggle in that instance. But yeah, I don't know. Can they catch them? They're making it interesting, that's for sure. I know you would like it if they did. I still think it's Vikingers to lose, honestly, but it does make for pretty exciting times in the league as a whole, I would say. If you do end up getting Luke Ray, who I don't want to speak that name because he kept us off 3 points when we faced you guys, but and I feel fortunate that we only let you in one time, so that was good. But anyways, that's a different time. Yeah, if he gets up there high in that score chart, you never know. I don't know. I mean, I haven't looked. Do you guys play Vikingur again still, or have you played them twice?
We play them end of August. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a home game for you guys too.
Yeah, exactly. Although Sölvi just now, a few minutes ago, confirmed that Gunnar Vatnamar is leaving, but he will probably play that game. That might be his last game. So unfortunately, I don't know why he couldn't leave a little bit earlier. But yeah, no. I mean, I know what you mean, but I think if this was a normal team, then maybe I would be a bit more optimistic. But then it's a team that just goes out and signs Ragnar Snær from Norway and Sveinn Aron Guðjónsson from Italy. And I would not be surprised if they make another signing by the end of today, like a defender or something. So it's just a team that, they can just bring in the best of the best. And when they do that, it's the slump. I don't think a slump matters when you can just bring in the best players.
Yeah, I agree. And I also think Kauer in particular they have a bit of a leak in the back still. Like they had it last season, and it's kind of continued. You guys have given up the most goals out of almost anyone except for Thor and Stjarnan. So that could potentially come back to bite you as well a little bit, maybe. I think it's been a really good season for you guys.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think we had them, I don't even know where we had them in our blind ranking, like 7th or 8th or something. I think 8th below Valur. So I think we were not super confident. So yeah, definitely a good season for us. But we are not here to talk about us because we have you, and you are the resident FO expert. It's been a bit of a roller coaster this season. Is it fair to say?
Yeah, definitely fair to say. We were expecting it. There were just so many changes that were made after the end of last season. We let Heimir go, and who is, as you would expect, doing very well at Fylkir right now. And then it left a sour taste in the mouth when they beat us in the cup. So that was a bit crazy. But yeah, it's taken.
Right?
What?
That was inevitable, right?
Yeah, it certainly did feel that way from my perspective. I was hoping that we would find a way, but yeah, that didn't really happen. And yeah, it was really a rough start under Joy. It's taken him a while to get his processes, to get his patterns, to get his style implemented into the guys. And I think too, we uprooted a significant number of the squad, right? And so there were a lot of new faces coming in, a lot of younger guys. It's taken them a while to reach this point, and honestly, I think if we hadn't strengthened in this transfer window, I think we're still not out of it by any stretch of the imagination, but it feels different now, especially since we brought in Johannes Kristin and Oliver Stefansson. Oliver's been fantastic in the back for us ever since he's come in. We're on a 9-game unbeaten streak right now, and we face Vikinger on Sunday. I think it's on Sunday. We're kind of hoping to catch them out like EBVF did this last round. But yeah, Oliver's been really good. I've really liked Johannes Kristin as well. I think he's been a really good addition in front of that back line in the midfield. He's kind of like a bulldog, and just terrorizing everybody. And so I think those two signings in particular have been extremely beneficial for us. So I'm cautiously optimistic that maybe we'll stay clear of the relegation zone now, but it's definitely not done by any stretch of the imagination. But I feel like we are playing better. I feel like I don't know, something clicked around the time that both Oliver and Johannes Kristin started playing regularly, and we haven't really looked back since then. So I don't know, I'm nervous to say all this because I don't want to jinx anything. But yeah, that's kind of where my head's at. And I will just add, I love Ulfur. He's already gone back to the U.S. now to start his fall season in college, but it was a bit of a quiet season for him, I felt like. And I don't know if that was a mix of the new style, the new coach, and things not really clicking. I suspect that might be what it was. But he was pretty quiet. I felt like Kjartan Kari was pretty quiet as well, up until kind of recently. It just wasn't clicking. That was a miss for sure. We missed Siggy's goals from the last couple seasons. He was obviously a huge threat, but we let him go to Spain. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's where my head's at right now.
I mean, I would agree that the transfer window has been pretty crazy, bringing in 4 very good players, and I think also, to be honest, not losing Kjartan Kauri, I think, is maybe the biggest signing. I mean, you saw it already this weekend with the assist. I know it wasn't anything crazy, it was just a corner, but I think he just pulls you guys up so much, and losing him at this point, especially to Vikingur, like it was like apparently there was an offer accepted, apparently, according to the media at least. That could have been, and then having him play against you like a few days later, that might have been the nail at the end of the coffin. But yeah, I mean, like you said, you haven't lost since May. I mean, you're still very much in it in the sense of points somehow. I mean, that also speaks to how poor it was before May, yeah. Before June, right?
Yeah, there's no sugarcoating it. Like it was really rough. We were I don't know, counting the days until the points came, and there were also some games where it was weird. There were some games where we just got played off the pitch completely, like just absolutely smacked around. But then there were other games where it felt unfair, maybe a little bit, to not come away with anything, and a lot of it came down to like defensive lapses. That was the biggest piece. Once Oliver came in, it seemed to really kind of shore up, and there's been a lot less mistakes at the back. I think that's a major contributor to why we're on the run that we're on at the moment. And we needed some of these young guys to step up to the plate, and I think Tomas has. He's arguably our best player it's very noticeable. It's one of the last two. He's come in off the bench. He came in at halftime, and it was pretty noticeable, the difference that he makes, especially going forward for us. So he's evolving into a really key player. But we also needed guys like Robert, who is a very young but exciting player. Also Gils. Both of those guys had their moments, but it needed to be a little bit more consistent, I think, and it just wasn't. Part of that, I think, is down to their age and youth and inexperience, and they're learning how to be a professional, right? And so there's part of that. And they had their moments where they rose to the occasion, like Gils I think it was against Breidablik. That game for him was phenomenal. He was lights out. But I feel like maybe even since that game, he's been just a little bit quiet, and so we need him to kind of come back into the picture and be a bit more deadly off the bench, and even when he starts, I also think Jokel has been pretty awesome for large parts of the season too. He got player of the round by the league multiple times, and so he's been
after he got yelled at.
He's been a really solid addition to the team this season, and we needed that. We needed that.
We talked about it a few weeks ago. If you look at your starting lineup, yes, there's a few people, young people like Baldur and Thomas, and then when Gil starts and things like that. But this starting lineup should be nowhere near the relegation zone. So it's I don't see how, unless there's a collapse again, I don't see how this team goes down. But I'm also kind of struggling to understand who will go down. Right now, I think I'm still at the point where I feel maybe the Akureyri teams are going down, Kawa and Thor, because I just don't see who else. I mean, obviously you're not going to say FO, but who else do you think sort of the key, who do you think are the key candidates for going down?
I mean, I'm taking off my hat here, and I do think we are still a candidate for going down. I hope not, but you just never know, and we had such a poor start to the season that it's hard to recover from that. And I think we're pretty fortunate, to be honest, that we're only 5 points back from sixth place, and I really don't think we'll even I don't think we'll get anywhere close to that. But I think you just have to look probably at the bottom four as it is right now. It's hard for me to see Stjarnan falling in there, and Keflavik for some reason has had an outstanding season by all accounts. Again, a team that I feel like has won some games that maybe they didn't have any business winning. I don't know, beating EA 5-2. What's EA doing letting 5 goals in that game? I mean, they've pulled it. They drew with Breidablik back in April, I think, which was surprising. And yeah, they beat Kawa recently, and I don't know. I mean, potentially we could maybe see a collapse, but it just doesn't feel like it. It feels like it's EBVF, FO, Kawa, and Thor. They're really in this relegation mix.
Yeah, and I mean, things can turn. We're recording this on Wednesday, I guess, right? Wednesday evening, before the transfer window closes. So things might change. There's been a lot of talk about things that could happen in the last few hours. Hashtag Triple D, Daniel Dejan Duric apparently is leaving Kawa, according to all rumors. So there might be a bit of a shake-up there. They might bring in a striker instead. Keflavik is already, like you said, I think they've been pretty... I don't see them going down, even though Ragnar hates them. But and they're also strengthening today. I don't see EPF going down for some reason. I know they've kind of not had the greatest run recently. They haven't won in how long now?
Since July 4th.
I don't know. I just sort of mentally, I don't see them going down. But maybe they've been poorer than I feel like they have. So yeah, I mean they're definitely in there, right? They're 2 points above relegation, tied on.
Yeah, and if you look at the schedule for EBVUF as well, like they're coming out of their hardest stretch, right? In that time since July 4th, they've played Valor, they've played Kaur, they played Kawa, Breidablik, Fram, and Vikinger. I mean, they played basically the top 6. So yeah, that's a really tough stretch. And now they play IA next, and then Keflavik and Thor, and then Stjarnan. So yeah, I agree with you. Like, their schedule definitely favors them, and it kind of does for FO too a little bit. I mean, if once we get past this Vikinger game, then we've got IA, which I'm hoping we can get some points off of. Keflavik as well at home for us, and then we finish at Thor before the split. So yeah, I feel like there's definitely points available there for FO, and yeah, Kawa, they might be in a spot of trouble because they've got Valor, Kaur, Fram, and Breidablik left. They do not look super great right now. I think they need to really strengthen. And yeah, I mean, the split is always kind of weird because they can go down, they can be dead last by the time we hit the split, and then they some teams might switch off at the wrong, like you've seen it with teams. Maybe they play the first 2 games seriously, then they realize they're out of danger, and then they completely switch off and give some points to teams that maybe they wouldn't have lost against normally. Yeah,
split is always a bit weird, but we'll see. I think we'll talk about it a bit next week after the transfer window closes, after Europe is a bit more clear. We're recording this again before the second legs of both Vikingur and Valur, who we assume will be knocked out of their respective tournaments. But let's wait until next week. I think we can maybe move to the players of the round. We're not going to give one to an FO player because I think we praised FO too much. So in that spirit, we're going to praise Kawar. No, but I mean, it was a good performance, and I think the player that stood out is Eilert Grete. And we haven't maybe praised that much. He's now holds the bronze shoe. We call it in Iceland. Scored 1.5 to 2 goals, depending on how you count that first goal, and had an assist, so up to 11 goals this season. And great game from him.
Yeah, so the second star we'll give it to Erik Sandberg at IA. He scored a goal right after halftime. Yeah, just kind of sealed the match against Thor, and had some really good clearances as well in that game. So he gets the second star.
And the third one, I think we're going to give it to Tryggvi Valur. I think he's been getting a lot of love lately, but he's been maybe signing for IA. It's liberated him. He's leaving at the end of the season. It looks like it won't be before the end of the season, but he's been playing really well. Scored a goal and had an assist in a long-awaited win for Valur. Been a bright spot in a fairly turgid season for them. And then we had a listener question actually about the relegation. Maybe you should have brought it up earlier, but so we asked if both Akureyri teams will be relegated. 37% said both teams will be relegated, but 37% also said that just Thor will be relegated. Just Kawa at 17% and neither at 9%. So not a lot of faith in Thor at the moment. A little bit of faith in Kawa. And then to close up here, I think we're gonna ask Joe for some predictions, guest predictions for the coming the coming weekend, because we have games coming up Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And I didn't mention how I did last weekend because it wasn't very good. So I'm sure you can do better than that. So let's start with Thor Keflavik.
I'm going to say 2-0 Keflavik.
Okay, not a lot of faith in Thor. Then we have the Sunday games, Kaur Breidablik.
3-3.
Ooh. How do you see Breidablik scoring 3 goals? I mean, I guess it's against Kaur, so maybe.
Yeah. That's what I'm banking on there.
Then you have FH Vikingur. You've kind of teased how you're hoping this will go, but how do you think this will go?
1-1.
Okay, optimistic.
Yeah.
IBU IA, the E derby.
I'm gonna say IBVF 1, IA 2.
And then we have 2 games on Monday. First of all, Valur Kaua.
3-1 Valor.
Really pushing Kaua down. And Fram Stjarnan.
I will say 3-2 Fram.
Okay. So you're pushing your relegation friends a bit down. So you're gonna.
There's no biases here, Trygve.
No, not at all. I can tell. But I think that's about it. Thank you so much, Joe, for joining us again. Hopefully we can chat again before the end of the season or after the season. We can talk about how FH was or was not relegated.
Yes, it's good to be back, and I hope we don't have to have the latter discussion.
We will see. Do you have a catch? Ragnar always struggles to find a catchphrase. Do you remember if you had a catchphrase back in the day?
Oh, I don't think we had a catchphrase, but yeah, I've been listening. So this is the best of the best of. We'll catch you later.
Nice. All right, bye.